Hey Scorpio, this is your reading for the month of April 2021. The way I like to do these is I start with letting you know the vision I had during my meditation time ahead of time. And then I go to Oracle cards and Tarot cards as guided from there. So as far as the vision I had for you, it was, it's not necessarily the sense of survival. Some of you may feel like that, but that's not the main thing. But you're basically on this raft kind of thing, or not raft, but like basically like, what is it? Is it a raft or, like a foam board type thing where you're resting on it, like even like a surfboard could work, where you're resting on it and you're not on it, but your body's in the water and you're hanging out and resting on it in the water. But the thing about it is you're kind of uneasy about it. That's what I feel, because every time the water moves and the waves move and the current, like it kind of bounces you a little bit, and it makes you feel like you might slip off, or it just makes you feel unsteady holding on to it, like you might slip off or something. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to that. It's just the uneasiness, and as far as what that would mean, it's, some of you may be dealing with a situation where you have something to rest on. You're not sinking. And I don't feel like this is fully life or death, but there's a fear of the moment of, falling in, type thing. But you may be dealing with a situation where every time there's currents, there's emotions, there's things come out, and there's even maybe emotional outbursts or things like that, things that change the frequencies and the waves and just make you feel a little bit unstable. That's what it's doing. It shakes the water a little bit, shakes your environment a little bit, and then when you're on this thing, like, you kind of shake. So it's like you're holding on to this thing, but you're kind of questioning it, since everything is on the water and the water's the thing that's shaking. So you're uneasy in that. I'm going to use the Steampunk Tarot deck. This is the mini version. I use a lot of mini versions because I have small hands, so it's easier for me to shuffle. No. I had to shuffle these a little bit extra because this is the first time I'm using this deck right now, so I forgot to shuffle beforehand just to at least get it like not straight out of the package in order. So I kind of had to do that. Okay, so Spirit, God, Universe, what message do you have for Scorpios for the month of April, especially in regarding the vision so far? Messages for Scorpios regarding for April regarding the vision so far. pull straight 3 cards. So 2 of Cups, Queen of Cups, and 3 of Wands. So 2 of Cups is a connection. You may be dealing with a relationship situation or a new relationship. But regardless, it's you relational. It's you with other people. Queen of Cups is, it's your, basically it's influence in emotional and intuitive ways. So it's basically you, and this card is signifying, you know, influencing the environment or influencing people's emotions, and not environment like tangible, but I mean, I say environment, but more so like vibrational environment. But yeah, intuitive, emotional, all that. It's influencing other people, you know. Sometimes that can be connecting, sometimes that can be influencing based off of basically being able to touch other people, being able to reach into that aspect. But sometimes it's not even known. Like, this is behind this, so sometimes it's like, it's from inside, like it's without going out of your realm, but it's like, you know, intuitively, spiritually influencing, you know, being a light yourself. I mean, it's not always a light, but, you know, basically influencing others. 3 of Wands is like, it's a new path. It can be experimentation. It can be, you know, venturing out. A lot of times it's, you've put out your ideas and your thoughts, kind of, sort of, like your not dream, but basically, and you're getting the feedback. This is a stage of the feedback. This is a stage of seeing how, not necessarily feedback, but how what you're giving integrates with what is out there. So Cups is relational, and then this would be passion, creativity, I mean, it's fiery energy, so water and fire. And what's funny is the Wands is the experiment and the new paths, and that's the one that's the fire, that's the action part in this, whereas the 2 ones that signify emotional sense and your and water is more like relational, connecting, and influencing. So I feel like for some of you guys, you're wanting to influence. Like, I feel like this is like a, not call to arms, but basically like she's reaching out, like she's trying to reach out to influence. You're wanting to influence things, maybe even to this direction, to be able to take a step or to be able to move in a direction. I mean, even this one, he's looking out over the water, and it's with a I think it's a telescope. It's, you know, that scope thing. I don't know if that's a telescope. I think that's the other type. I think that has a different name. I don't remember. But it's over water. So it's a situation of, you know, it's a journey. It's out of his element he's looking into. So she's reaching out to this. So it seems like what you're trying to do, some of you, is you're trying to affect this side of you. So it's like one side of you wants to do this, wants to move out, not move out, but, you know, move forward and move into this new opportunity or this new, I always see it as like a fork in the road, where it's like you might have had like 2 paths, but instead of 2, now there's 3 paths. So it's like, okay, which way am I going now? There's a new way to go. There's a new direction. So you might have this, but it's like she's trying to give the energy to do this. So there might be that path, but whether you're actually taking this role or not is like, you're trying to, like, a part of you is trying to reach out and light up that energy. It's almost like this cup is lighting those lights. So it's like he's only able to see and do this because this cup is lighting it. So it really feels like this is what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to reach out through influencing the emotional, the spiritual, the psychic, the relational, all that. I say relational because it's emotional relational, but it's not the communication, because it's not swords. I mean, it can be communication, but it's not with that heart. The heart is for the emotions and the psychic connection, the intuitive connection, instincts. Well, intuitive, not instincts. So yeah, she's the one that's like, it's almost like giving the battery for this. Like, she's like, okay, you know, so that's kind of what you're trying to do. Like, you have this phase, and I say it like this, I keep saying this, but you have this place. I think you're at this place, but you haven't felt like you have this light. You haven't felt like you even are this person that can do this, that can fathom doing this. So you're kind of trying to push yourself and talk yourself into it, and emotionally like influence yourself, and emotionally like, I don't want to say cheerleader, because it's not necessarily only a joyful thing. It could also be something for courage, and something for like even maybe doing something, you know, it's something, it's not good or bad. It's just this role, to act in this role, you're trying to convince yourself and you're trying to influence yourself. As far as the Two of Cups here too, it's like this is the other option. So one option is this, and this is what you're trying to do. Or the other option is just working together and kind of, it's like a burner, Bunsen burner. Yeah, you know, creating something together with somebody in this relationship situation. If it's, you know, for those of you, if it's a relationship situation, or for those of you that it's a, you know, partnership too, like any like business partnership too. I mean, I know it's more relationship type because of the cups, but some of you it may be different. But that's the thing, is this is one of your options, is working together and coming to this place. But you're kind of standing and you're seeing this right now. So it's like you have two different options. Either stay at what's, I almost want to say comfortable. Like, I know that's tech. I know that's like science. I know that's like cutting edge looking, but it's also yin and yang. It's a balance situation. So I feel like for some of you, that balance, being the balance to another person, being that balance together was your comfort zone. So this is staying in what's comfortable, and this is going out and venturing out. So either venturing out and looking at something other than just this, or looking at other aspects and concepts and things that this isn't your focus anymore type thing. I'm not saying it isn't your focus, but that's what this is showing, is that you're starting to kind of veer this way and say, I'm going to light up this path instead of, it's almost like this is a lighter here too. So it's like this thing can light up this path or this path. And it's like, no, I'm going to light up this path. And it doesn't mean you don't want this companionship, but you just don't want the same pattern of balance that you've had before. Because sometimes when we balance, I feel like for some of you, like, you're seeking this balance, and you've said this balance is such a good thing because you balance each other and something like that. But sometimes in order to balance someone else's, I want to say, okay, so in order to balance someone else's, not vices, but weaknesses, or not insufficiencies, but patterns that they have that have been unhealthy for themselves, dysfunctions, in order to balance someone else's dysfunctions. And it's not always going to be dysfunctions, but for some of you, in order to balance someone else's dysfunctions, you have to go into a dance, and you go into your own dysfunction that may or may not be who you actually are. But that's what naturally happens when you come together, is you balance. So even though there's balance there, and together as a whole you make something halfway decent, the pattern you may go into in order to do that might be really bad for you, or at least you're seeing it as another opportunity to not go that way. So maybe it's not necessarily bad. Some of you it may be something bad. Some of you it's just you're seeing it as it's not being true to yourself. And others of you maybe just getting bored and saying, okay, this balance all this way, always looking like this. Like, I know there's more to me than just this side. Why can't I be the whole picture? Why am I just one half? You know, why do I need to be with somebody else in order to be strong? Why can't I just be strong in myself and then come together with someone else? So I really feel like for a lot of you, there's this dynamic of, this is where I am, and it may be safe. And I say safe like this because I'm thinking of the raft or thing that in the water. It may be safe, but is this really like, I mean, there's emotions, there's all this, like, even to stay on the raft, like if you go back to the vision, to stay on the raft or to stay holding on, you literally have to, like, not arch, but lean different ways, go different directions, you know, to balance what happens when it shakes because of the water. So it's like you're asking yourself, do I really need to continue this dance? Is this me if I'm here and this whole picture altogether might look okay and I might look safe, but it doesn't feel stable, and it feels like it's shaking a lot. Like, that's the thing too, is you feel a lot of not tension. I almost want, okay, I'll say tension, because for some of you it might turn into tension in yourselves, but it's not tension that you're feeling outwards coming at you. It's instability, and you're taking it to a place of tension for some of you. So some of you, it's making you tense. It's making you feel like you're constantly in this dance. And while you guys might work really well together, it's this dance of always balancing each other. And you're asking yourself, when I change to balance this person, do I still look like me? When I change to balance this person, do I still look like me? Trying to see if there's anything else. There's a lot in these cards. And for some of you too, there's the lights here. There's 2 lights on this side and there's 2 lights over there. So again, like I said, you're veering out to start looking outwards. You're veering out to start looking away from this. I'm not saying away from this connection necessarily, but this pattern, because you're starting to question if this pattern is healthy for you. So you're veering out to start looking away. And some of you are keeping things close to you, like your resources. You're not taking everything. You're not putting all your resources out to look out yet. You're not aiming it all that way. Some of it's still towards you. And I know, it's balancing. So it's like 3. It's like a tripod situation where it needs to balance with 3. But still, I really feel like some of you are like feeling safer in this position when you do go into it, because you still have some light where you are at. Because you still want light where you're at. Because you're not fully done with this. Some of you may be, but regardless, if you're done with this, what you're done with, like I said, isn't the union. What you're done with is the dance, and you don't want to continue doing that dance. And so you're keeping light where you're at and, deciding, okay, am I here? But then you're also trying to look elsewhere. And some of you, that might be, a third party situation. Some of you, that might be just your energy, because this is 3 of Wands energy. So you're trying to redirect your energy and say, I'm open to the idea that I want to say I'm lovable. For some of you guys need to hear that you're lovable. The only reason you haven't been looking out is because you've been thinking that this is as good as it gets, this thing here. Okay, let's go ahead and I almost want to pull 2 more cards here. You know what? I'm going to pull 2 more cards here. Just continuing this. So messages to continue clarifying this for April for Scorpio. Yeah. Spirit Body Universe. What messages? There you go. Yeah. Okay, so here, this is what happens in the Lovers card. And that's the thing too, is one of the things I feel is if this is a Lovers card, the Lovers is also a situation where, you're making a choice. You need to make a choice. Like, what path are you on? But the Lovers card is also, a situation, I'm trying to think what I was about to say. A situation where, okay, that's what I was going to say. So for some of you in this situation where you're trying to make your choice, you're really feeling this resistance. You're feeling the fact that your light in yourself is starting to go elsewhere. And I don't mean, like I said, it's not necessarily third party. It could be third party for some of you, but elsewhere in terms of, like I said, your attention, your focus, your idea and concept of different possibilities. Because some of you have stayed in this because you, like I said, you felt that's all that there is. And you've also felt that you don't deserve better. Or you don't deserve a better situation, dance, partnership. So it's not that the other person's not good for you or anything like that. It's just this union, this way, this habit, this dance that happens hasn't been healthy. And you haven't felt like you could have a better dance because you're questioning yourself in that. Like, where are you in that? Who are you? You still are kind of questioning that. The other thing is with the Queen of Cups and the Three of Wands, I mean, the world card is a matter of, it's completion. It's also a new beginning. I mean, it's, you know, it's 21, so you know, it goes to 3, so it's a matter of creativity and a new beginning. So when that everything culminates and becomes this, okay, I have a full circle of understanding of the full picture because I know this, I saw this, and therefore I did this. I knew this, I saw this, I did this. So your full picture, when you have that full picture, you can see everything happening and you can see all your options, and then you become, it's almost like the magician, you become able to have a new beginning, whether it's still staying with the same person and just creating a different dance and changing yourself and growing yourself and healing yourself, or if it's a new person or a new situation. Again, like I said, some of you, maybe it's not romantic. I mean, for most of you, this seems pretty romantic. But yeah, earlier when I was looking at these cards, my 6-year-old likes to, when he sees the cards, he likes to say what he thinks all of them mean. And I haven't taught him anything about them generally, so he just like sees intuitively. And sometimes he actually gets full like good messages. And he was stuck on this one meaning, I keep hearing it right now too. He was stuck on this one meaning, when you're in this situation, and I'm trying to make sure I say this correctly, because again, this is what he said. When you're in this situation, when you're together with someone like this, sometimes you have to choose, you know, if you want to hear the bad things or if you want to hear what you want to hear. You have to choose what you want to hear. And that's very true though. When you're making a choice, you choose. Are you going to listen to everything and make the choice? Or are you going to be ignorant and say, not saying this is ignorant, but once you know all this is happening, if you stay here and you choose not to do any inner healing or anything, that can be ignorant. So are you just going to choose to close your eyes to all this? Or are you going to say, okay, I know all this, but I'm going to heal? You know, it's a matter of where on this are you going to go. So I think it's actually kind of fitting. Maybe some of you may need to hear it. I wish I relayed the message better, because I feel like he said it clearer. I'm actually, my 6-year-old said it clearer than me, but you know, out of the mouth of babes. Again, there's the lights here. I mean, I know this is flowers here, but it's like, it's her own sense of light. So they have 2 different types of lights and 2 different types of inner brightness. So when they come together, they make something different, but it's not, they need to understand that they're wholes even without each other. And that's kind of what this is saying, where you venturing out in this starts making you understand that you exist even outside of this union. Trying to see if there's anything else intuitively. Okay, I think that actually probably gave. So as far as, yeah, on the water, you're on the raft, you're questioning the thing, you're questioning everything, but some of you are having trouble and feel like even if you're doing this, you're holding on to this and you're holding that against yourself, that you're still have some light on this end, because you don't feel like you're going out enough to say that you're, you know, actually looking at another option. And so that's why you feel this tension arise in you when you feel the water and the waves and all that stuff move when you're on that raft. But you still feel like you might be slipping, because again, it's you're not secure in your own strength in that position, and you're not secure in the fact that it's all in water. Like you're also, I mean, you're in an emotional state. Water is emotions, intuition. So you're in this place of like deep, like not digging, but drenched in it, basically. I mean, it's not drenched because you're actually in it, like you're fully submerged. Well, not head, but you know what I mean, like body submerged. And so when you're submerged like that, like you're really starting to see the depths of this situation. Okay, I think that is good. Hope that's resonating for you guys so far. I'm gonna go ahead and pull from the Halloween Oracle. So, Spirit, God, Universe, what messages do you have for Scorpio for the month of April? This did fall out. I'll show you what that is. I don't know what it is, but it fell out, but it was literally like, we'll see what it is. What messages do you have for Scorpio for the month of April? Especially in regards to the vision and the messages so far. This is Skull of Darkness. Blind spots. There you go. Blind spots. Okay, look. Hold on. So, right? Okay. So, and that's really true because in this, you've had blind spots. You're coming out of the blind spots. So it's not saying, like I said, it's not that this is a bad situation or the connection, the person, or any of that. But it's what you've done together hasn't been true to probably either one of you, honestly, the way this is looking. The way I'm feeling, at least. Like I said, this is a different card. In different readings, I could read it differently. But for this reading, this is what I'm feeling. And this is, she's lighting the way. There, like I said, like I feel like this is like a light. I know it's the cup, but that's lighting. And it's the cup, but it's like with the emotions, with that emotional release. I feel like for some of you guys, you're influencing your environment as a Queen of Cups with an emotional release. So with that emotional release, for those of you that's what that is, you're lighting this. So this normally might be darker. That, that all is darkness normally. And so there's like, it's a matter of lighting everything up. There's the lighting behind them, like I was saying. Like everything, just lighting up everything and seeing everything for what it is. It's funny, like this actually totally matches all these cards, but it's on his head, on the head of the skull. It is, I feel like it's really a matter of your intuition. You need to listen to yourself, to your intuition right now, because logic would tell you that you guys created something good. But knowing yourself and knowing this person, you know intuitively if you've been true to yourself. You know intuitively if you've had the right heart behind it, because you can be true to yourself as to like, not true to yourself, but you can be doing everything right and doing, acting like you're way further along than you are. And then kind of be not being true to yourself because it's going to crumble, because you don't have the backing, the wisdom backing of someone that would be that far along in growth and healing, if that makes sense. So it seems like some of you, it might have been like a fake it till you make it situation for some of you. And it's a matter of, you need to be true to yourself about who you actually are inside and your light inside, and light the way, light everything. And you need to be loving, because ultimately being loving is being honest with each other and being honest to yourself. This is the one that fell out. Werewolf, exploring wildness. And yeah, I feel like that's kind of, you have this fire in you. You know what I feel like I see in this, though? It says exploring wildness, and this is like trees or something, or maybe lightning up there. But I feel like it's like creates a web around him. So he feels like kind of trapped in it. And he's not trapped necessarily by the web, but he's trapped by his inner werewolf or whatever. Because he's at a war of who he is, and who he is one minute and who he is the next. Because a werewolf, change, the whole lore or whatever changes, into a werewolf at night, but otherwise, or not night, a full moon, but otherwise they're, it's a human. It's like a human to everybody else. So you really might be dealing with a situation where it's a matter of you feeling that web, you feeling that resistance, you feeling that tension because of who you are one minute and who you are the next, and it not adding up for you and you being really confused in that. And that might be why you've stuck in this so much, because it's easier to label yourself than it is to deal with inner demons, wounds, pains, and allow your voice to speak. You know, it's easier to do that because sometimes when we speak and we haven't spoken in a while, like, it's kind of, one, it can be scary, but two, it can be brash because it's never come out. Or it can be quiet, but I just feel like for some of you, it can be, you need to love your inner voice. That's all it is. And trust that even if it's pointing you the wrong direction, it's pointing you that way for a reason, for other reasons, other things that you need to deal with in yourself. So it's really a matter of shadow work, it looks like. Oh, okay. So yeah, I hope that helped you guys. Let me know in the comments what resonated, what didn't. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And as always, I mean, the way, you know, my intention is that you get these messages right when you need them, no sooner, no later, and right when you're willing to receive it. So if it's like 2 months down the road and, you know, you're seeing this and you have a feeling to watch it, or you have a feeling this is for you, and, you know, it might still be for you. So, because you're going to hear it when you need it. So, okay. I will see you next time. Yeah.